Hi guys, Jessie Kennedy here bringing you The Brief. This is the first instalment of a two-part interview with DDB Worldwide's Chief Creative Officer Amir Kassaei, who is in Melbourne for DDB's performance review. Amir is one of the world's most awarded creatives. Joining DDB in 2003, he quickly turned DDB Germany into one of the country's most decorated agencies, before stepping up to the global role in 2011. Here he talks about his creative vision for the network, his no bullshit attitude, and more.
As I said, I think it's about focusing on the right things and not confusing things. And trying to bring technology at the core of a creative product as a tool, and trying to be always at the intersection of creativity, humanity, and technology, because that's what I believe will differentiate us from the technology companies. And sticking to the main values and the DNA of DDB and the foundation, which was about creating relevance. And that will never change. So I think the tools are changing, the media landscape is changing, the world is changing, but the main purpose of the company will never change. So that would be my vision, that we can transform ourselves into the new age without losing our soul. I think as an industry, it's not only specific to DDB. If we are not changing our business model or the way that we are approaching our product, we will have a tough time. That's what I believe. So we are preparing our organization towards how they should define creativity and what the product should look like and what is the business model around it. But it will take time. Because again, you cannot do it on yourself. You have your clients and you have to educate and guide them, and you have to convince them that you can deliver something which adds value to their business. So it takes time. But that should be our mission. Not only at DDB, but as an industry. It's not about ads, it's about creative solutions. You have a tradition of being a creative culture and being especially very creative in advertising. And it helps also the connection to UK, because kind of the same approach of how the people are dealing with insights, coming up with advertising ideas, spending enough time with craft, so you feel that.
Yeah, okay.
I would not say, to just add to that, I would say in terms of state-of-the-art technology-driven creativity, you have a long way to go. Mm-hmm. If I'm looking at the US, maybe in terms of technology, the country is a little bit far ahead, but I don't worry that Australia will be there in 2 or 3 years. We are not really good in changing ourselves and our business model, but we have to, because if you're not changing, you will die. And at the moment, we are confusing a lot of things, talking about the buzzwords like digital, mobile, and data without really knowing what we are talking about. So I think technology will disrupt the whole business model of advertising, and if we are getting it and we are using it at the core of the product offering and the product development, we will be in a good shape. If we are not getting it, we will have a huge problem. The reason we did that was, if you look at China as a market, there's one big thing missing, which is talent. You don't have the talent there. So if you want to really change something and create something which has the kind of the same quality level like the stuff that we're doing in Australia or in Europe or in the US, you have to attract international talent to come to the country. And you can only do it if you walk the talk. So that was the reason we said, okay, we are setting the creative hub there. And the reason that we want to have international talent is that at one side they should do and deliver the creative product that our clients are asking for, and at the other side educating the national talent to be there one day to deliver it by their own. China as an advertising or marketing country is not old, and they are still like at the beginning of the whole process. And they are a country which at the moment is just copying, and they are not innovating. So you have to educate them how to innovate. And I think that's a nice thing. But it will not take a long time.
How long do you think?
If you look at the speed, 10 years maybe. It was a quote from Muhammad Ali for an Adidas campaign. And that's what I believe, especially if you're working in a creative industry and a lot of people are trying to tell you that you cannot do it. So I don't believe it. You can do everything, you can achieve everything. It's a question of passion and persistence, not primarily talent. I think talent is nice, but persistence is the more crucial thing. So it helps me survive every day. Yeah. I don't have to say to myself, I'm not, and especially at DDB, I don't think that you have to remind people, because that's part of our DNA, to try to really explore new ground, being innovative, making mistakes and learning from it. So it's about more educating our clients towards the fact that they should try different new things, and that they should change their attitude towards saying that something is impossible. So it's less internal, it's more client side. Yeah. I was born in Iran, I just told before, and then in 1979 the revolution happened. And in 1980 it was the first Gulf War, so the government was sending children to the war. So I was a child soldier at the age of 13 and a half, fighting against the Iraqi army for 1.5 years. And then I flew from my country at the age of 15, all alone, no money, no parents, nothing. And I applied for refuge in Austria because a close friend of my mother used to live there. So I had to start from scratch, learning the language, going to school, working, every job that you can imagine. Then I finished school. And then I was visiting a family member in Paris. Then I decided to study in France, in Fontainebleau. So I learned French, studied in France, working beside my studies, finished that, started as a client. And then I changed the side. I was a controller in advertising. Then I was a strategic planner, a media consultant, an account guy. Then I decided to be creative. So, yeah. And then I was a creative. Again, as I said, I'm a good example. Talent is not really important. I don't believe that I'm a very, very talented creative. I think I'm a very passionate person. And I think that helped me being there. And having this kind of life story helps you a lot because you're not bullshitting around. Especially in advertising world, where we believe or we are confusing our microcosmos with the real world and forgetting about where we are coming from. That helps a lot. So that's my life story in a nutshell. Yeah. Yeah, I think we have to stop the arrogance that only creative people are creative. I don't believe in that. I think you have to define creativity in the right way. So my definition of creativity is using your talent and expertise to solve a problem. And you can only do it with the right people as a group, and the idea can come from everyone. So I don't believe that it's kind of something which is only coming from the creative department. So we should stop the arrogance. That's the first thing. And you should always be open to real world, because if you don't understand what is going on in the real world, you cannot be a great creative. I think Cannes is still the World Cup of advertising. That's what I believe, but I think they have to be very, very careful about not losing the weight of the currency of a lion. And to make sure that they are really awarding the best of the best of the best ideas globally. I remember as I was a junior copywriter, my biggest life dream was to win a lion, one lion. And then if you look at now in lion, in only one category, they are giving away 280 lions. And I'm not sure if you have 218 amazing ideas on a global level. So I would reduce the amount. I would be much more quality driven. Because everybody is aware that at the end of the day, it's not about me judging my ideas. It's about giving a signal to the whole industry, especially to the clients, of what we believe what are the most innovative ideas. So it should be about puristic, and it should be about quality and not about which agency it's coming from or which holding company and so on. So I think it's the good thing. I'm like that. If you ask people, I'm maybe too brutally honest. I'm not bullshitting around, and I don't care who is doing what. So no, I think it was the right thing to do it. I don't know Martin Sorrell. He doesn't know me. So, But it's a question of belief. So, and if you believe in something, you should go for it. But again, maybe I'm the product of my life story. So, because if you had this kind of life story, you know that you have this only one lifetime, and you're not wasting it with bullshit. And if I have the feeling that I have to fight for something, I'm going after everybody. And if it's Martin Sorrell, I'm going after Martin Sorrell. All my clients love me because I'm the only guy in the room who is always honest to them. And I think that's what the clients appreciate about having a partner, because they don't want people to say yes all the time. They want to have somebody who reminds them that they're on the wrong path. So it helps. It's not easy to live like that, because you will not have a lot of friends. So you have to live with it, but I'm fine with that. If I wanted to be loved by everybody, I would be a nurse or something like that, right? So I would not sit in advertising. Because of the technology, I believe. Because it would be an amazing time in our industry if I would be 22 or something like that, because that's the most interesting time in advertising. Looking at how technology is disrupting everything, but I'm seeing it as a positive thing. I'm seeing it. We have a weapon now which we didn't have 20 years ago. If you're understanding how to use it, that's what I believe. How the creative revolution is shaped because, as I said, because of the connectivity of the people. You cannot bullshit around anymore. It's about substance. So it's great.
That's all for the first part of our interview with Amir. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for next week for more. In the meantime, keep up to date with all the industry news at bnt.com.au and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.